Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This is a young guy, he's 20 years old, he's in the Marine Reserves. Definitely a guy on his grind. He's in the Marine Reserves, which he gives up a weekend once a month, I think. Then he's going to school, working two jobs, so he's definitely trying to make something of himself, as all guys should be. The thing is, he's a virgin. And as you can probably imagine, as a 20-year-old Marine virgin, he gets some crap from time to time, as you can imagine, from his fellow Marines and all that. And he wants to know, how should he handle the situation? Because to be honest, it's not that important to him dating, hooking up, obviously losing his virginity, all that. And so he wanted to hear my opinion on that. And so I'm going to go through his thing here and go from there. But before I do, real quick, I'm going to read a quick story sent over from another guy who spent his time in the Army about a situation that involving one of his buddy's girlfriends, which completely matches up to some of the stuff you hear today and how girls behave. I thought you guys would find entertaining. We get another military story real quick before I get on to the main question here. So real quick, this guy says here, ISSM, I've been watching your YouTube show for a while now and find it very entertaining and informative about women's behavior. Here's a quick story that I experienced about 16 years ago when I was 22 years old. He says, I just come back from Iraq and I went celebrating with my Army friends in a nightclub. Some of my Army friends just joined the Army and didn't go to Iraq, but we were all going out together. One of my friends who didn't come on tour brought his girlfriend at the time to join us at the club. Oh, she probably enjoyed all the attention from all the young servicemen. She was wearing a short blue dress and open cleavage, leaving very little to the imagination. She had a very bubbly personality and was very talkative. What'd I say? After a few drinks, she decided to shake her bottle of alcohol and try to spray me and my friends. Not happening. Before she could spray us, I grabbed the bottle and pointed towards her, and she got covered in alcohol. Well, she'd like to be covered in something else if she had her way. Everybody laughed, including her, but her response to me was, fancy a lick? Staring right at me. I paused, thinking I misheard her as she repeated herself. In my mind, I was like, WTF. Her boyfriend at the time was at the bar getting more drinks, but I didn't want to spoil the night with my friends and get into arguments and thinking that the alcohol was doing the talking, so I walked away and enjoyed the rest of the night. It was not the alcohol talking. She was hot for you. End of freaking story. But then again, she probably would have taken plenty of other dudes as well. But her boyfriend's right there, but she doesn't give a shit. About a week later, me and my Army friends had training over the weekend. I got a text message from an unknown number. Who could that be? You guessed it, it was my friend's girlfriend. I asked her, how'd you get my phone number? And she responded, he gave it to me. Smack to the jackass for doing that. She probably says something like, oh, I just want to thank him for showing us all a good time last night, or some bullshit. And this guy just was in a very naive way, just thought, okay, no problem. I was confused in two things. A, why would she want my number? And B, why would she text me now? Well, bro, A, she obviously liked you. B, she's a shitty person. C, she's trying to help set the stage for a hookup. Looking back, I can see why. She started asking how I am, are you seeing someone, and stated she really enjoyed the night out at the club, and I responded, I'm good, yes I am, and I did enjoy the night out. She continued to text me random things, and I asked her, what do you want? She replied, I really enjoyed meeting you at the club, and my offer still stands. Obviously, in her mind, she's used to guys taking her up on her offer. She has no integrity, doesn't give a shit about her boyfriend, obviously. There you go. At this point, I got up and spoke to her boyfriend. I said, did you give my number to your girlfriend? And he said, yes. Why do you ask? I said, why would you do that? And she is texting me and she's being inappropriate. I handed him the phone and showed him the messages. The color visibly drained from his face and he ran to get his mobile phone. Within 1 minute of him leaving, my phone was being bombarded with messages saying, what did you say? Why would you do that? You're an a-hole, etc., etc. Oh wait, you're the bad guy? You're the a-hole because you informed the boyfriend here of what she's doing. She's the a-hole coming on to you First of all, you serve together, but second of all, you already have a boyfriend, but you're the bad guy? No accountability? I chuckled to myself and responded, bros before hoes, and blocked her phone number. My friend came back and I told him I don't want any issues between us. He didn't stay very long in the army with us afterwards and stayed with his girlfriend until he caught her cheating on him. Shocker. That's it for my little snippet of entertainment for your show, and keep up the good work, Ben. Well, Ben, I appreciate your your email, and I'm glad back then you had the good sense not to let her do what she had to do. And I guarantee you weren't the first or the last, obviously, that she would do that to, but that's how gals are. Guys, bros before hoes, always. Aside from the fact that we need to have a code, you just shouldn't simply do that in general. The world's screwed up enough. And besides, there's plenty of ass out there. Okay, back to the young 20-year-old's situation. He says here, hey SSM, I don't care if you use this for a video or not. This has made me confused. I've asked others, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'll give you a brief description. I'm 20 years old. I'm in the reserves for the U.S. Marines. I go to base every first weekend of the month. Other than that, I work 2 jobs, go to school, and work out. Bro, you're on your grind. That is awesome. All guys should always be on a grind one way or another, but especially when you're that young. Good, you're setting the stage for how the rest of your life's going to go. Good for you. Also, I do squeeze in time to work on my career in the Marines, so I can be promoted to corporal in less than 2 years and maybe hit sergeant before I'm 25. If you want that to happen, you'll make it happen. As you can see, I'm very busy, and it's been like that as well as in high school. Getting a piece of ass doesn't interest me very much, as it interests most boys my age. To me, I think there's a lot more to life than SCX. There is a lot more. Now, don't get me wrong, the SCX is a whole lot of fun, but what percentage of your life are you really getting some ass, right? And then, of course, there's the world we are in right now, and the attitude of many of the young gals nowadays, and the behavior of many of the young gals nowadays that might make you say, nah, no thanks. When my boys and coworkers found out I'm still a virgin, my boys told me they were surprised but respected my decision. My coworkers, now they've been hounding me about doing the deed. Well, here's the question. Why did you mention to your buddies about that? That's kind of setting the stage for them to give you some shit. Now, are you saying your coworkers, do you mean fellow Marines, or just guys you're on the job with? I'm not quite sure about that. They say it's a requirement to be a real man or a true Marine. Okay, they're the Marines. They even offer to set me up with prostitutes, yet they don't worry about themselves. They smoke weed and hire prostitutes or spend money on dates for a maybe. I don't want that. I don't want to spend my money for some ass. What do you think I should do? These are coworkers my age. Surprise, surprise, but it's annoying. Should I ignore them and continue my grind or say something? Well, bro, I'm going to say this before I answer. It's amazing to me just how things have changed so much over the years. So when I was your age, I'm 45, so 25 years ago is 1998. It was a very different world back then. And, you had no social media. You had, to my knowledge, no dating websites because there were no apps, because there weren't cell phones to have apps on. There were cell phones, but it was just to make a call. That's it. What else? So you didn't have gals being able to easily flaunt themselves so easily on site. There was no Instagram or Snapchat, TikTok. There was no OnlyFans. So girls could get attention online through the internet, through their America Online or whatever the hell they had, by talking to guys in chat rooms. They had a little profile. But it wasn't the same world we have today with girls behaving in a way they do online, like so many young gals do, that turns guys off, And also, because they didn't have the social media and the dating apps, the gals weren't being bombarded with attention from guys, making their egos go to the stratosphere like so many have today. Therefore, much more guys had less of a problem hanging out with them, okay, like young guys do today, because they simply don't. Young guys today are just walking away from not just marriage and relationships, but even hooking up, because they're so turned off and repelled by the behavior, both in terms of the attitude, the entitled attitude some of young gals have today, or their behavior online, high body count. You get the point. Now, women are women the world around, and it doesn't make a difference whether it was 25 years ago or 250 years ago. But it wasn't as easy to get attention and arrange hookups like it is today. So obviously back when I was your age, guys had more of an incentive, if you will, to get as much ass as possible, and I was one of them. So, but that being said, the world's changed, and a lot of guys are just not interested anymore for obvious reasons. So my answer to you is this: if it's not important to you, and you certainly have good reason, like a lot of guys your age, then there's no shame. There's no shame if you are a young guy right now, or fuck, you're 40 years old, and by your own choice, you're a virgin, not interested. Who cares? Now, I do recommend you guys keep this to yourself. It's nobody else's business. So by you mentioning this somehow to your fellow Marines, you set yourself up to get some shit. But what I would suggest is simply make it clear that, hey, you know what? I'm sure they all like you and respect you, but I would just, you can laugh it up and say, you can just joke around saying, look at the gals nowadays, right? How they behave online, the high body counts. Yeah, no thanks. Something like that. And if you're cool with it, they're going to be cool with it. But if you're thin-skinned and let them get to you and get bent out of shape, they're just going to harass you more, But if you don't want to pay for it, if you want to put your money someplace else, like investing or something like that, then you do what you want to do. And if you are cool with it, then they're going to be cool with it. But you got to have a sense of humor, though, about it, too. And that'll be that. You'll get jokes every once in a while when you go out and stuff like that. But there's a difference between poking fun, the way bros give each other some shit, as opposed to really being assholes about it. And if they're being assholes about it, then you know how to handle it. You are a Marine. And the other thing is this, is that you said one day you'd like to be promoted to a corporal, and then one day to a sergeant. Well, that's a leadership role. So by behaving like a leader, and you're going to do what you want to do, regardless anybody says or does, that will gain you respect. And so other than that, bro, I just say keep doing what you're doing. I think that's great. Thank you for your service. And you're 20 years old and you're on your grind. You said you're working a couple jobs and going to school and hitting the gym. This is what all young guys should do. You're setting the foundation how the rest of your life will go. And if you aren't doing it already, every month, try to have extra money that you can put away to invest in something that's going to grow in value over time. Whether eventually a future condo or a house, get that down payment, or investing in various things on your comfort level, index funds or individual companies if you're so bold, and think long term and you're going to be good. But do what you want to do. It's no shame, and not just for him, but for all you guys out there. Because I know I've had guys comment in the videos or write me about a situation like this. And there's no shame. Do what you want to do. And again, given the environment we're in right now, with how the attitude that so many gals have nowadays built up and brought upon from the attention they get online through social media, dating apps, the attitude thanks to the feminist movement, so many of these absurd body counts that are completely turning off guys. You have a right to say, I'm not interested. I'd rather be single, on my own, do my thing, than to be with the likes of you. And that, no doubt, is being noticed by the young gals. I'm sure it's being noticed as more guys are walking away. Will that change behavior? Who knows? May take a generation, but regardless, do what you want to do, and that's that. And guys will respect you for being a fucking man, being a leader, and marching to the beat of your own drum. So, bro, I wish you well, and right back later on down the road. Let me know how you're doing. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. And you guys in a situation like him, let him know. It will definitely be helpful to him. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.